Are you listening? Damn.
Thanks for opening the lid. You are now inside the trash can. I'm TJ O'Connor. That's Damian the Wolverine Hill. We're joined tonight by Joey the Hitman Hart. Joey, how you feeling, sir? Fresh off a big win last weekend.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. How are you guys doing?
Man, feeling good, especially after seeing the exciting fight news that you were allowed to share today on Facebook. Could you let the fans know that don't already know what you have lined up as of today, or that was set today?
Yep. So I just got word on a title fight against Yama Sadozi at Canterbury Park, December 21st for Driller Promotions. I'll be fighting for their 170-pound title. Super stoked about that.
Oh, yeah, dude. As soon as this one was announced, it's like it was one of those ones where it's like, hell yeah, those two are going to fight. And then knowing that it's for a title, that's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, with all due respect to everybody else on that card, can we just give you guys fight of the night like before the fight even starts? That fight is chaos. You got two guys that enjoy standing and throwing hands, are more than capable of tapping people out. And it's 5 rounds? Come on.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a fan-friendly fight for sure. We're both. It's a 5-round fight, but I don't see it going 5 rounds. But I think we'll both be prepared for 5 rounds. So I mean, the clash of styles and just the way that we both fight, I think there's no way that you end up disappointed watching that fight.
Hell yeah, I definitely agree with that. And so, and it's not even been a full week since your last fight, and you're already taking on another fight.
Yep. Well, it was only like a minute and a half long or whatever the last fight was. So I didn't get any kind of injuries. Feeling good. Been training already since. So I mean, there's no reason. Then when I got that offer, it wasn't a second thought. I didn't go to look him up or see what his. I don't even know what his record is. I already knew who he was. I accepted the fight instantly.
Oh man, hell yeah!
Yeah, I love it when the promoter calls with the title opportunity right before Christmas. I mean, I'm assuming that's your Christmas present, right? You're going to get that belt.
Yep, exactly. Bring the belt home for Christmas. You can't get a better Christmas present than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely counting this whole fight card as my Christmas present. Yeah. There's a few other rumored fights that I believe are going to be going down. I'm waiting for those to be announced in the next few days. But man, this is one of those fights that just sets it off already. Like if tickets go on sale later on this week, I believe Jeremy said, and as soon as they do, all the rest of the fights aren't even announced yet. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a big gap in the amount of tickets that have sold already just from this one fight being announced. This is crazy.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are excited about it.
Yeah, this card's going to be crazy just from the fights that have been announced. I mean, between this one and then a couple of the pro fights, and then like Damian said, a couple fights that we've been able to hear that are in the works that could be announced in the upcoming days. This card's going to be insane, and if anybody wants to get me a Christmas present, I take a size airplane ticket to Minnesota on December 21st. These fights are going to be insane, and I'm going to have to be there. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to work that out, but I mean, especially before Christmas, I'm going to have to convince the old wife and kid, but we're going to figure that out for sure.
Yeah, just mail yourself up here. I'll open the package. You'll get some oxygen.
Boom.
Yeah.
But
sorry,
I'll say enough about that. You kind of touched on your fight this last week, and you fought at the Myth. That was a great fight. You opened the card up, which I was excited about because one of my favorite things about a fight is being the first fight, getting that opportunity. Just because, is there anything worse than just sitting in the back waiting to fight? I mean, being the main event, there's a lot of prestige that comes with that. But man, I mean, when we get to that point, it's like, can I just go out there and fight somebody?
Man, being the main event is overrated.
Man.
Yeah. I've never gotten to be a main event, but I've gone as late in the card as like 7th on like maybe a 12-fight card or something like that, and it sucks sitting in the back, and especially a night like last Saturday where it was all my teammates in the back. I was happy to go first. I was like, all right, let me show you guys. Like, let me set the tone, get a good finish, and then everybody else going out there winning, getting finishes, and just basically representing the gym. It was fun.
Yeah, being the first one out there to go out and set that mark, set the tone for the rest of the night. That's something that me and TJ have experienced, because there's been nights where same as your team, where we're what, 6 or 7 fights on the card, and the locker room is packed with my teammates. Like that's always a great feeling.
Yeah, it was supposed to be even more, and then Shelby, his opponent, backed out or whatever, and Cooper, whatever happened. But yeah, still having five teammates in the locker room, or five teammates fighting, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and set the tone exactly what you did. For the fans that don't know, you guys went 5-0 that night. Dominant performances, starting with yours. One of my favorite things about this is, and I talked to you a little bit after the fight, and you mentioned how you're just getting so much more comfortable letting your hands go, and you just want to let your hands go more. And you came out throwing big shots early, and then he tried to wrestle you. Is that something that you expected? I mean, what did you actually know about him coming into this fight?
Well, that's what's crazy with that opponent. He so the original guy I was gonna fight, I guess he backed out. I don't know exactly when. I found out like eight days before, I think, like somewhere around a week before, that I was gonna be fighting the new guy. And so I didn't even really. I knew he was a wrestler. That was what I heard. So I was like, whatever. I was already getting ready for a wrestler, and so I didn't even look him up like on YouTube or anything like that, or on Facebook or whatever. I just was ready for a wrestler. I didn't even know what he looked like until I got to weigh-ins, and then yeah, I definitely expected him to wrestle, but when he shot, I was just kind of like, well, this is what we've been getting ready for, so don't get taken down, frame, all that stuff.
Yeah. Did you think it would last a little bit longer?
Yeah. I was telling my corner, I was like, I don't think we're gonna use like jujitsu, which I did submit him, but like I meant like I don't think I'm gonna fight off my back like I usually have to. Like I don't think I'm gonna get taken down. I think I'm just gonna keep it standing, like be able to stop the takedowns and punish them and whatnot. Oh, but I did think it would go longer. I thought, like, because I'm kind of a slow starter most of the time, but I just kind of once I had it, I wasn't gonna like bail on it or anything. I was like, yeah, this is the finish right here. Like, let me finish this guillotine for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of happened, he shot a little high, and you locked that choke in deep. I just recall Damien. I mean, I just remember him saying how deep it was. And where you were lined up from us, I had a chance. I was looking directly into your opponent's face. There was a moment where I was like, he's not going to tap. And sure enough, I mean, was that something to where, I mean, you're going to finish the fight until the referee stops it. But is that the first time you've had a guy just go to sleep on you in the cage?
In the cage or in practice, I've never like choked somebody out like unconscious before, so it's definitely weird. No, I like it was a lot of thoughts going through my head. I was like thinking, first I was just thinking he's gonna have to tap. Obviously, I was like, he's gonna have to tap, and then he was just kind of punching me, giving me like small punches in the ribs or whatever, and then eventually just kind of when he went out, I felt it, and then I think I let go before the ref came in. Like before the ref actually waved it off, but
yeah, I think that if my memory serves me correctly, I got to go back and look at the video, but I thought it looked like he had kind of sunk in a little bit, and you realized you kind of like started to let go. The ref was coming in, and you were like backing up, and like you could have just dropped him. I was mentioning to TJ, like it looked like you just guided him down to the ground too. I mean, that's something that I thought was pretty respectful, because like it's always the second hit that messes the guy up. When they get knocked out, or even when they get choked out and fall to the ground, it's when their head hits the ground. That's the dangerous one, and you saved him from that. So I had to show some appreciation for that and acknowledgement, because there's not enough of that in the game.
No, yeah, for sure. Well, like, I appreciate him stepping up on short notice, and I mean, you know what I mean. Once the fight's over, it's over. If I don't know. I knew the ref was gonna step in, so I mean, just try to.
And that, that all comes with experience and stuff. And you say that you've never choked anybody out unconscious in practice. That was the first time it ever happened in the cage or in practice. And I mean, you were completely aware when it happened, and you handled it perfectly.
Yeah.
So did Did you okay when you get a guy locked up like that deep? Do you expect them to tap before? Because I've been in situations like I've been choked to sleep in practice, and I didn't even know the choke was on. Like, when you sink it in that quick, and it was deep, and I mentioned to TJ how deep it looked. Did you feel like he would probably go out before he had a chance to tap, or did you think he was going to tap a lot? Did you think he would actually physically tap?
Yeah, it's weird. I did kind of think he would tap. Like I didn't expect him to go out like that. Just because guillotines, sometimes like a guillotine when it's like pressing right on your like trachea like that, it's really painful. Most people want to tap over going out
Yeah,
like a triangle. You know what I mean? I'd go out to a triangle. It's not that bad, but like a guillotine kind of hurts.
Oh yeah, especially like you said when it's crushing the windpipe there, and
Yeah.
like Damian mentioned, like a true gentleman, you laid him down politely, and that brings you to 7-3-1 now. I mean, you've had so much amateur experience to carry you into this title fight. You mentioned, I seen your post today when you announced the fight, that since your very first fight, you've had your eye on the belt, specifically the Driller belt, because let's be honest, it's one of the nicer belts, especially as an amateur, that you're going to find. Very nice belt. Do you feel like everything's worked out perfectly? This is the perfect time for you to get this title fight rather than being rushed into it?
Yeah, definitely. Like I could be undefeated, fighting for it, be like 4-0 or 5-0, or especially with how active I've been. Like if I could have fought a lot less, and maybe have not taken some of the losses that I have. But I feel like it is a perfect time. Like I've had the highs, the lows, the tough fights, the kind of faster, easier fights. Like I feel like I've just basically experienced everything to where having that 5-round fight is really the only other amateur experience I feel like I can get.
Oh yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's one of the things that we've talked about. Myself, me and TJ previously on and off the camera, we've talked about it countless times. But the number of rounds, and it's not necessarily the amount of minutes you're going around in the round, because amateur is still going to be 5 3-minute rounds, pros 5 5-minute rounds for a title. But the checking out each round and checking back in at the start of a new round, that's something that ends up being a little bit draining in itself, because there's times where I go into practice and I'm on my third or fourth round and I start to feel tired because I know it's my third or fourth round. The day before, a few days before, I was going 3 or 4 5-minute rounds, but today somebody switched the timer to only 2 minutes. And at the end of it, like mentally, I'm thinking, man, I'm tired because it's the fourth round, but I'm really not that tired. Do you think that that's going to play a factor into the fight, knowing that the round ends, you have to reset, and if it does go the distance, it's going to be 2 more rounds than either one of you has gone before?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's so many things, like so many different factors, like you're saying. Like there's you see who can make a better adjustment, I think. And there's if it gets to those later rounds, you see who can take the advice from their coach, and if they're losing, they can turn things around, or if they're doing something well, do it, keep on doing that same thing, capitalize, all that kind of stuff. You see obviously cardio play a big factor in it, and just preparation, because like I said, with me and Yama getting in there, I don't think it'll go 5 rounds, but I'm pretty sure both of us are going to be ready to go 5 rounds. So just the whole dynamic of being scheduled for 5 rounds, I think, will change how the fight will go.
What are the rounds looking like in preparations for previous fights, and what do you think the preparation going into this fight is going to be with those sparring rounds and grappling rounds, or the mixture of both together? What's going to change leading up to this fight?
Yeah,
if anything.
No, for sure. I'm definitely going to change some certain things, like just the time on the rounds and how many rounds I'm doing. I'm going to have to tweak a few things, and since I just found out today, I haven't had much time to like sit down and plan it out yet, but basically just, extending things, making, instead of getting ready for 3, getting ready for 5. So try to increase the workload and I feel like we already do a lot of, like when we're rolling for 5-minute rounds, and sometimes we're sparring for 5-minute rounds instead of 3s, but either way, we're doing a lot of rounds. I always go at least 5 5s when I'm grappling, like 5 5-minute rounds every time I'm there, if not more. and then so I'll probably just start doing longer rounds, more rounds.
Yeah, no, and training for championship rounds and as a pro. I mean, getting ready for that pro cardio. I like it.
Right, more running. I was thinking about even getting a membership somewhere with a pool to start doing more swimming.
Yeah.
Just
I recommend that. I recommend it.
Yeah, less wear and tear, and it's a good cardio.
Yeah, definitely. And cardio's never been one of those things that's ever been an issue with you before. So I mean, I see you expand on that, just being able to push the pace more. I mean, I feel like the opportunities are endless there for you. And I mean, being where you're at right now, I mean, obviously the fight got signed today. It's October 23. We're just under 2 months away from the fight. I mean, is this something to where, you obviously do your camps at Start BJJ? Is this something to where I know a lot of those guys go down and get work at the cellar sometimes as well? Is that something that, interests you, or are you not, you looking to broaden all horizons?
No, yeah, definitely. I've been. I was just thinking earlier about how I'm going to be, what I want to like for the specific opponent fighting Yama, what I want to do differently, or how I want to kind of tailor the camp. But I actually just for the first time, what was it? A week before my fight, the weekend before my fight, I went to the cellar for the first time, with Angel and Max, and we just went there and sparred with a bunch of their good guys. And so I think I'm going to start doing that more often because that was pretty fun. That's on a Saturday, so it's an extra day of the week to spar that I wouldn't normally be sparring.
Yeah, and they got some elite level guys over there, some high level talent.
Sure. Yeah, I got to spar with like Nate Richardson. Yeah, really good guys.
Oh hell yeah, that's what's up, dude. And knowing that you're getting that work with elite level pros too is all, dude. Yeah. I love when guys like start to cross train, start to add things to their game. You pick up new things from different fighters, and then especially when you start working with more experienced fighters too. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And then you mentioned you want to start swimming more. I said that I recommend that. Back in the day, me and TJ, I mean, people might not know this, but it was me and TJ getting ready for a lot of my pro fights. Like we were going the rounds every morning, and then at night is when more people would show up to practice. But every day after practice, we would go to the community center and we'd get on the elliptical and or the treadmill for 25 minutes. Then we'd go sit in the sauna for about 15 minutes, then hop in the pool and tread water for like it started off being a goal of 15 minutes. Eventually we're in that pool for almost an hour, and then we'd go sit back in the sauna, go back, shower up, and get ready to leave. But it really does stretch out your lungs and muscular endurance and all that. It helps.
No, for sure. I was actually on the swim team one year in like 8th grade, so I got decent form. I don't have like sloppy technique or anything, so I'm good to go. Jump in there and start doing laps.
Did you do diving at all too?
No, it's I actually learned. So there was like the swim team and the dive team. They like practice together, but it's like two different things. Oh, and I didn't know. I actually learned how to dive, just a regular dive, like when I joined the swim team, because I never knew how to dive before that. I had to kind of teach flopping. Yeah, basically belly flopping. Yeah. So no, now I know how to dive. I know how to whatever freestyle.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay.
No, that's awesome. And I could definitely see how you were recruited to the swim team. You definitely have the frame of a swimmer.
So everyone wanted me to play basketball, but yeah, somehow I ended up there.
Yeah. Did you ever play basketball?
No, not ever in school. For fun all the time. Like around the time, maybe like 15 or like 14, 16. I was playing a lot at the park, but I was never on a team.
Yeah. So was swimming the only sport that you ever did, or that you did throughout school and high school?
It was like 8th grade. I didn't do any high school sports or anything like that.
Man, and then you just all of a sudden decided that you're gonna become a fighter.
Yeah,
just start whooping ass.
Yeah, like 17, 18 was when I got in the boxing gym, and then I was like, yeah, for sure, gotta get into MMA.
That's fucking sweet. See, this is why I love doing this stuff, because I mean, TJ mentioned that, yeah, you have the frame of a swimmer, like you have a long body, but I never would have guessed it.
No.
Yeah, no, most people are surprised by that, and it was only like 1 year. I didn't even do the full year, but I definitely got all the form and technique and got to compete a couple times. So I mean, it was cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, definitely a different experience. And then, I mean, that just fuels that love of competition. So, I mean, you mentioned no athletics in school. What was the first time where you were like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go lock myself into a cage and fight another guy.
It's weird. So it was kind of just from seeing YouTube videos, like a friend showing me Anderson Silva and all that stuff. And that was when I was like 16. I never knew anything about MMA, or I didn't even know it was a thing really. Well, I guess it was super popular where I was from. And I don't know, just seeing that, I was like, that's insane. That's some like seeing the Forrest Griffin, like the one where he's just walking backwards and clips them, makes it look like the Matrix.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that kind of stuff. Seeing that was possible, I was like, okay, that's like I gotta somehow get into this. And boxing was really the only martial art gym in Wilmer where I'm from, so I was like, oh, I'll try this out. And then after that, after I started training for a bit, I was like, all right, I think I'm ready. Like I was sparring, coaches put me in with guys, I was doing okay. I was like, yeah, I think I'm ready. Fight a guy. I was originally going to be a 55er because I was still growing up. I was like 17, 18, so I was skinny. I was walking around like 160. I was like, yeah, I'll be a 55er, but then I kind of grew into my frame.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of crazy that you were thinking about 55.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was even skinnier than I am now. It was weird. I just kind of grew.
Yeah, we call it my coach James Clark. We at the gym we've always called it framing up and going from boy strength to man strength. It's like I didn't think it was a thing back when I was 18, and then as soon as I turned like 23, I'm like, oh, okay, I feel it now,
Yeah,
and it's
like I'm still coming into that man strength. I'm in the transition.
yeah, and that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
That's scary in itself, man. Oh man, like the amount of growth, like, so people talk about muscular strength, like, but muscular strength isn't all you get when you frame up and you get when you go from boy strength to man strength. Like your muscle reactions, like I don't know how the scientific phrases behind it, but like the fast twitch muscles, quick twitch, whatever it's called, and stuff like that. I mean, all of that stuff, like you're gonna feel it.
Right. No, for sure. It's like an old grown man can carry, heavy shit on a construction site longer than a teenage boy could. Like it's just muscular endurance, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it's crazy that you're still growing into yourself, and then oh man, and then the fact that oh my God, dude, I'm not one of those people that try to like think back on the past too much or whatever, but man, I'm just thinking like how scary it would have been if you wrestled.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
man.
I definitely regret it like so much. I did try to my parents, I wanted to put me in karate when I was probably like 10 or something, but they never did. But that would have been cool too. But wrestling would have been insane if I would have wrestled in like even if I would have started in middle school or something. I think it would have been insane.
Oh hell yeah. That's when I started, was middle school. And it's just like I think the future you went back in time and said, hey, Joey, let's be nice to our future opponents. Let's hold back on the wrestling because let's give them a chance,
Right.
Oh my God, dude. It would have been so scary.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I can say as a blessing is wrestlers get a lot of like, those wear and tear injuries from the years of all that wrestling. So at least hopefully my career can extend, later.
Yeah, I hope you have a lengthy career as well.
Yeah, with starting in my late teens.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I think that one of the benefits to that, I mean, just to think of, how good you could have been with the wrestling, but is coming in as a true mixed martial artist. I mean, you learned everything at one time, and it's kind of like the new wave where you see the young kids growing up. I mean, Josh Clark, a kid I always think of, 'cause, I mean, I met him when he was 11 years old, and you see the transition, and that's kind of what you've done is you've picked it all up, and now you're at where you're at. You've had 11 fights now. I mean, is this something to where, I mean, do you have a plan in your head as far as how many amateur fights you're looking to have here? Or are you still just looking to fight the best competition, and when you're ready, you'll know?
Yeah, pretty much. I think when I'm ready, I'll know. And pretty much when my coach says I'm ready is the main thing. If my coach says, we should think about making the jump, then that sounds good to me. I definitely want to win the belt, defend the belt, and then pretty much go from there. That'll be if I win the belt at 8-0, or not 8-0, I mean 8-2 and 1, and then defend it. That'd be 9. Yeah, so 9 wins. Yeah, so after that, win it, defend it. Who knows after that? But for sure do that.
Yeah, I like the way you have that mapped out a little bit.
Yeah, not to look
not
ahead
yeah,
of the fight for the belt, but
yeah. Well, that's a good thing. It's a vague future plan. It's one of those ones like I got this fight in front of me. After
yeah,
this, like yeah, I'll take another fight, defend it, and then I'll go from there. Like yeah, it's not like you're focusing on I'm gonna beat my opponent and then I want to defend it against this guy specifically and things like that. You're
Yeah.
not taking on too much at once. I don't think.
No.
It's just
I don't
it's
care about any other opponent until
yeah.
this one's through.
Exactly, and you just have to have an outline of what's going to happen next. Because I mean, that's one of the things in life, and the life of a fighter is like you can't look past your opponent, but you got to be thinking about the future too. You
Right.
got to think like what's going to lead up, but also
Yeah.
knowing how to separate that too.
No, definitely. You got to have a plan, or you become a part of someone else's. You know what I mean? Like you got to.
I like the way you put that.
Man.
No, definitely. But like you said, a vague outline, not like, oh, this guy, that guy, and this guy. Just
Yeah.
get through the one and then do whatever, go in a certain direction.
Yeah. So now we've been talking for about 26 minutes, probably 25 because I fucked around for the first minute. Now, before we start to wrap it up and everything, I'm like, I just got a few more questions, just because we know that you didn't have the martial arts background going into fighting and everything. Did you think that you would have this much success? I know you said that you were attracted to it from the things that Anderson Silva was able to do, but did you think that you'd be out here doing some of the same stuff, looking as good as you are and having as much success as you have been having?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like from the outside looking in, I didn't see it. I don't know. I didn't see my path going the way exactly it had. Everybody, I felt like kind of how everybody else probably does. Like I'm going to come in and be undefeated and this and that. But as far as like winning, being successful and getting, top ranked or whatever, like I definitely saw that. Even when I was just sitting there, at my mom's house in the garage hitting the punching bag. But
Oh yeah.
no, yeah. So yes and no, I guess I saw like the success, but I didn't really see like all the ups and downs, everything that comes with it, and just like the journey. No, I couldn't have really seen that from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I'm like I definitely think that you came a long way, and you're doing a lot of the right things. The ups and downs that fighters see, losses and things like that, and then also the things that go on in the outside life that people might not know about. All those things start to play a factor, and then the way you can handle it and bounce back from those things is all gonna add up in when you start making the run as a pro. And it's like having nothing be new to you as a pro is an amazing thing, and it's one of the things that I wish I would have took full advantage of in my amateur career, because I should have stayed amateur a little bit longer, and felt and seen some of those things, and your mindset, the way you've handled things so far, and how you just continue to push through is inspiring, and I really like the mindset that you have leading into this fight and just your career in general.
Yeah, no, thanks. I agree. Like going pro, I feel like it's one of those things. Unless I was in a situation where it was really like a crazy offer, like if I was fighting some crazy paycheck or something like that, it just doesn't make sense until my coach says I'm ready and until I feel that I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and your coach has seen fighters, obviously at the highest level. We're talking about Brock Larson. I mean, he's worked with guys,
Right.
Anthony Rocco Martin. I mean, there's so many guys to even name. Bobby Lee. So he definitely he knows, and the fact that you have a coach like that in your corner, it's awesome. Like Damian said, it's been so good to watch you grow. I mean, I don't hide it, on the show that you're one of my favorite prospects in the state. I truly enjoy watching you fight. And when you're going against another guy who I can truly say some of the same stuff about it, man, this fight sells itself, and this is on the amateur portion of the card. I mean, this card is going to be insane, and I couldn't look forward to it anymore. I wish you nothing but the best of luck here for this training camp here. And that's all I can say. I'm truly lost for words at this one. I'm generally excited for this fight.
Oh
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I think a lot of people are excited, and rightfully so. And that's only the amateur portion of the card, and it's still a couple months away. The card's going to fill up with hopefully more of my teammates. So
yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. So before we do wrap it up, is there any teammates or sponsors you'd like to give a special shout out to right now?
Yeah, all my teammates that were on the card with me last weekend, Max, Cole, Colin, Bobby, my coaches, Brock, Chaz, Jay, Danny, Angel, Madison, everybody who's been training with me and in the gym, and Augustine Hahn, I was just rolling with him like an hour ago. Yeah, everybody in the gym.
Oh, yeah. No, we really appreciate you taking the time to be on Trash Talk. Trash Talk is nothing without the fighters. And if you like our content, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. Subscribe to Trash Talk with Damian and TJ. We'd really appreciate it, you guys.
Yeah, this was inside the trash can. Now shut that lid.
Are you listening? Damn.